My name is Mix Marikuma. I am the owner of Marikuma Healing, where we heal our mind, body, soul, and heart. We learn about healthy ways to cope with toxicity and abuse, learn how to let go of things that have been tying us down, embrace a healthy, happier version of ourselves, on top of the fact that we do witchcraft and witchy vids. Welcome to Witchy Reads, where we read about books that I have on hand. And the book that we've been reading on for a while is The Everyday Psychic by Karen Harrison. Now, a lot of you guys see me with my glasses. Sometimes I read with my glasses, sometimes I read without. Normally, I need to see them, I need to have them to see so I don't run into walls, fall downstairs. You know how it is when you have bad vision, right? But yeah, welcome to chapter 3 of The Everyday Psychic by the lovely and amazing Karen Harrison. This chapter is all about clairvoyance. It's your psychic senses. At the same time, I think I should also let you guys know that my Wi-Fi can be an ass. Okay, it can be a real piece of shit sometimes. So if I'm lagging and sagging and freezing, I apologize in advance, guys. Hopefully we can get chapter 3 to 5 out of the way today. All right. I will be proceeding the rest of my chakra videos and witchy reads on Monday. I'm going to take a break on Sunday tomorrow, okay? All right. Chapter 3, Clairvoyancy and Other Techniques to Access Your Psychic Senses. The psychic sense of clairvoyancy is one of the most often associated with being psychic or intuitive. Let me just try to sit over here so I'm not putting my head down on you guys. Actually lift up and read. All right. I may see the words wrong just because my vision is just that bad. So I can't read with glasses because I'd have to read it this far. It's kind of one of those damn if you do, damn if you don't things. If you know, you know. All right. I will also put commentaries here, so I'm sorry for that in advance as well. The psychic sense of clairvoyancy is one of the most often associated with being psychic or intuitive. But there are other ways that psychic information may be received. In this chapter, we'll examine and explain them all. We're talking about clairsenses. It's going to be fun. But we'll start with the one that is best known, clairvoyance. The term clairvoyance means clear seeing, clair meaning clear, and voyance meaning sight. This technique is often used to read auras or to interact with spirit guides, to interpret the subtle energy patterns within surrounding and acting upon an individual. The experience of clairvoyance can be defined as a psychic connection wherein you receive the psychic energy present within a person or situation in a visual manner. This experience can occur in your mind's eye, your third eye, guys. Mind's eye is your third eye, or psychic eye if you want to, but mind's eye, third eye, the same. Like the visions you have when you are daydreaming and experience a picture or image in your mind, or the information can appear as an image of person or a scene outside of yourself, as if you are seeing it with your physical eyes. Actually, you are using your psychic sight to view the scene or image you are receiving. This is true. For me, it comes in as dreams, but it also comes in, when I'm doing readings, I can picture the situation and see it unfold while I'm doing the readings and give information to you guys or whoever I'm doing the reading for, whether it's me or others. So yeah, they're explaining to you how this clear sense, clear sight, clairvoyance works and how it will be interpreted for you. Remember, you guys will pick up the visions and images differently per person. One person may have the same vision, but it can be interpreted in different ways depending on what the message is for. So don't compare yourself to other people. Your gifts are special. and is individualized, man. In addition to images, people, or scenes, clairvoyant vision may also be made up of the energy colors present in the aura of someone or something that you are reading. The clairvoyant can also sometimes see the images or form of a spirit guide and or angelic guide who is present. Clairvoyance is particularly associated with the third eye, the energy chakra center just above and between your eyebrows. So I know I have thick brows, like just above, right here. Okay? This is your third eye. This is also your sixth chakra. It takes in spiritual information and allows you to be able to see it a lot better. Okay? Your crown chakra ties into your cosmic self, your higher self. The third eye is below that, and it's for you to see spiritual messages and things. It taps into your psychic abilities and things of that nature. As a method or talent to see images, symbols, scenes, and colors in the mind's eye that are present within the energy field around a person, place, or thing. When these images or colors are perceived clairvoyantly, the next step is to interpret their meaning. We are going to be once again talking about our brain waves. We're tackling the four, okay? The first one we're talking about is alpha. Alpha, a clairvoyant reading occurs when a psychic goes into a light trance, state to obtain information and impressions through their subtle psychic senses. The psychic has engaged their mind into an alpha brainwave state, and the time when the subconscious mind is active. In this state, you focus on awareness, is on your internal experience, feelings, intuition, and creative thoughts. In an alpha brainwave state, your electrical brainwave patterns are moving out at a slower frequency or rhythm. Again, around 8 to 13 hertz, which is brainwave. It also is written down as HZ, okay? Okay. Sorry, I'm just like put this thing over here so that way I can like lift this book up and read it. Jesus. All right. Ah, and your attention is alert to what is happening within yourself and your inner perceptions. Beta, there. When you are functioning in your normally busy day-to-day activities, your your brainwave patterns are functioning in what is called a beta brainwave state, and your electrical brainwaves are moving at around 12 to 38 Hz or hertz frequency. The beta conscious mind state indicates that the brain is more concerned with the stimuli and activity outside of yourself, and those stimuli are being experienced and interpreted by your your conscious your consciousness linear mind. The stimuli that your brain is responding to tends to be matters and expressions. Hold on now. I know I'm reading this wrong, Benange. My goodness. All right. Interpreted by your conscious, linear mind. The stimuli that your brain is responding to tend to be matters and experiences that you are external to yourself. So outside yourself, all right? So me reading this book is outside me, Okay, I'm not reading this book inside my mind or in my heart. I'm doing it now in the physical. As you relax into the meditative alpha brainwave state, you will begin to sense, understand, and diagnose the energy patterns of an individual object or place. You will be able to do all this while noting the visual input you are receiving from your intuition, as well as the feelings that the scents, symbols, and images are experiencing invoke in you. Clairvoyant visual imagery emerges as the energy patterns of a person or a thing are experienced by your subtle senses. You will find while using your clairvoyancy that in addition to colors, senses, or images you are receiving, you will also be accessing various psychic impressions, bits of information, and messages from your other psychic senses as well. This is true. A lot of people have more than one clairsense, okay? If I remember correctly, there's like 8. So clairvoyancy is clear sight. There's one for clear smell, taste, hearing, sensing, and feeling emotionally, and also connecting with people in different ways. You may hear voices, okay? And I know that sounds crazy, but there's a clear sense where you can hear people talk to you about what's going on. Like, oh, it can be something like a whisper. It can come as somebody that you know or a voice that you never heard before, letting you know what it is, how to go about it. Maybe one word or two. Sometimes, I wouldn't say a sentence, but it gives you a feeling and a voice about what it may be that you're asking or doing. Don't be alarmed, you're not crazy. It's just you have different clear senses that tap into your 5 senses as well as your psychic sense, which is 6. We have, I think, more than 6 senses, but for the majority of people, we just talk about the 6, not all of them, because it can be a lot. But yeah, all right, it can tap into and play together with other senses, is what I'm trying to say. Bits of information and messages from your other psychic senses as well. In addition to clairvoyance experiences, you may also feel sensations in your body. You may get a sudden knowing with the image or color and words may pop into your head. The experience of clairvoyancy is often accompanied by these other psychic senses as aid in clarifying and interpreting the visual image that is being received. During your psychic work, you may see a symbol and find that the symbol comes with a physically audible message as the experience of clairaudience. Okay, clairaudience, clear speech or clear talk. Okay, a clairvoyant vision may appear, and in addition, you may have the experience of clair. Oh, I'm going to butcher it. I apologize. Clairognisance. Claire cohescence, Claire cohescence, where the image is accompanied by a sense of knowing additional information or having a psychic hit, which tells you exactly what that image means. Sometimes the vision may come with a physical sensation called clairsentient. Now I'm going to just pause it right there, okay? And I promise we're gonna go into it. Normally, I don't like bringing in 2 books at the same time, but this is gonna help you guys a little bit, okay? Because people who are clairsentient, there's also like it's similar to, but not the same at all as being empathetic. Like being an empath and clairsentient can feel the same way, and it can kind of be difficult. So I'm just going to read you this quick thing by The Complete Grimoire by Lydia Paradis. Okay, a different book. Normally I don't do this, but clairsentience. Aha. Here we go. Clairsentient, also known as clear feeling. Clairsentient is one of the most common clear senses. It can be summoned up as that gut feeling that is experienced vicious viscer Dios grace, man. God's grace. Viscerally, people viscer you know what? It can be experienced by feeling or emotion. Let's just go with that. People who have this clairsense are called sentients. Clairsentience is linked to intuition, but sentients feel information physically. So if you're doing a reading with somebody, right, and you're giving them advice, and you're reading your cards or doing your crystal ball or whatever type of divination tool you may be using, you could just be just no tools at all, reading the energy and the vibe. You may pick up a feeling of the situation and how it's affecting that person. It feels like empathy because empaths can connect with people in an emotional way. And feelings and emotions are normally tied together as hand in hand. Even though they're not the same, they have very much similarities. So you may be sentient, but feel like you're an empath, and be an empath when you are actually, it could flip over. You could be both, and you could have one that taps into emotions alone with your empathetic skills, and then being able to feel what people and the situation is and energy and vibes around you. Be careful, because with this clairsent, right? Being clairsentient, it can be really overwhelming when you're absorbing the reading, the information, the person, and everything around you. Make sure you ground yourself and cleanse yourself every time you're done reading. Make sure that you're not absorbing energy that does not belong to you, because it can be really overwhelming. Okay? I'm an empath, and I can feel and sense things when I'm doing my readings, and I can kind of understand how it affects somebody, right? And it can be really tricky trying to figure it out. I promise we're going to get back to our witchy read. I'm almost done. I'm just going to read this section, let you guys know about the Q's and A's. And if you're feeling this, then maybe this is your clairsense. But make sure to go slow, okay? Don't just jump into the biggest and the baddest. Pace yourself and learn how to handle and channel your ability to where it's not overwhelming and just driving you mad, because you can feel things really sensitive and strong, and it can be a lot. And it's okay. Just grounding exercises, meditations, kind of being able to not take in anybody else's stuff, understand it, but don't go over there and try to absorb it, because some things are not meant for you to absorb. All right, that being said, people who have this clairsense are called sentients. Clairsentience is linked to intuition, but sentients feel information physically. Sentients experience all ranges of emotions and thoughts, but also physically feel, such as pain and pleasure. It takes practice to discern the emotions that are sentient that a sentient can feel, and they are usually grouped into good or bad feelings. For a person who has just awakened, they're clairsentient. It can even be difficult to separate their own emotions from the ones that come from the outside. Like I said before, you can get them confused because you're absorbing them. Observe, watch, listen, hear, but do not take it in as your own. That takes practice, man. And sometimes even myself, I absorb it, and I take in people's sadness and rage, and then I'm happy to make them feel better, but that's a lot on me, and it's not good for my health, right? So learn grounding techniques and kind of being able to work through everything slowly and openly with yourself. All right. Do you present 4 or more of these traits? If so, you could be clairsentient. Sometimes sometimes you experience feelings that are not related to your present situation. For example, having a fun at a party and suddenly feeling sad out of nowhere. You tend to avoid crowded places. Your mood changes depending on who you are with. You are affected by their emotions. When when someone you love is in pain, you feel pain as well. Your memories are often more related to your feelings than to physical experiences. If so, this may be your clairsense baby. All right. Thank you guys. Now I promise we are pursuing our witchy read. Actually, let me just read without my glasses because I'm just going to read under them anyways. I could just hear doctors looking at me being like, don't, you're straining your eyes. Listen, my eyes are goners, man. It's a miracle I can still read, is all I have to say. Anyways, let's get this party started, shall we? All right. May come with a physical sensation called clairsentience, where you receive the image along with a physical feeling of emotional response. From within yourself, happiness, dread, awakening. You may also experience a physical sensation within your body. You may feel a pressure or slight pain in an area of your body, which gives you information about an illness that someone is experiencing. You may feel, for example, the weight of a cape around your shoulders, which gives you information about a past life led by the person you are reading. This intuition based information is sometimes presented to you, the psychic, from your higher self, from your own spirit guide or guides connected to the client, or from the energy imprint of the client. You, as the psychic, will gather the information from all of the sources at your disposal, which means all your clear sense, and then communicate to the or person of reading the senses, images, feelings, or symbols that they mean in terms of the client's life and concerns. All right, guys, we are going to be talking about auras. It's going to be fun. The aura, seeing on a clairvoyant level, is the ability to physically see, feel, and interpret energy patterns as a color and mental pictures in the aura, the energy field around the body and surrounding environment of the client. The aura is the personal energy pattern of a person, and revealed within it are all the reasons and motivations for their actions. Each person's conscious mind, motivation, and feeling are readily revealed within their auric field by looking at the sensing, the aura, as you use your clairvoyant skills. You can see what is happening in a person's life on an energy level and analyze what current or past events have a bearing in regards to their health, emotions, thought process, and spiritual connections. This auroric information reflects what is occurring with the person in their physical environments and how they are reacting to events in their lives, giving you clear indications of the future they are creating by their attitude and responses to events. Sometimes a clairvoyant image will present a scene or present information in a straightforward way, but the visions will not always be completely straightforward. That is true. I know that you guys are tired of me breaking out of these things, and like I said before, we doing commentaries because I've been doing readings for like about 2 years, right? Give or take. And not all the time do my visions be like A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3. It's kind of like AC34, and I'm just like, okay, but what does it mean? Like, you only gave me half of the things. You know what I mean? God damn. What do you want me to do? And I'll be like, well, it's like a fortune cookie kind of thing. Okay, you know how you have a fortune cookie and they say like some ancient mystic wisdom? You just kind of have to interpret to the best of your abilities. And I would say that if you're looking up interpretations, like, you don't have a dream interpretation book, right? Because I don't have one. I have books that talk about interpreting dreams and images, but it doesn't talk about the specifics, right? Don't do Pinterest. Please don't look at Pinterest about what your dreams mean, okay? Look at like different informations about what it could interpret. For me, snakes are always a symbol of like shadiness, two-facedness, double-sided. Alligators are people that are kind of like they're just below their surface, or there is like a lot of hold up, pent up kind of emotion and energy that needs to be let go because it is causing me or somebody else problems, right? Different images will represent different things to different people. You may see snakes in your dreams and it may actually be a good omen. Some of you guys may see it and it be a bad omen. It just depends on the person and the interpretation that you see it as, okay? And I'm sure they're going to say, like, bless her heart, I really, really have to say I love how she wrote this book and how she kind of just put all the information in, right? But take your time. Dream journals are really important. I promise you guys we're going to get back into it. Just, somebody who's kind of been on this journey for a little bit. I'm not the high mage and sage, but with just experiences that I had personally. Hopefully, this will help you guys if you're new to it, or if you've been around, you'll probably understand, right? Dream journals is a thing. If you don't write, that's okay. I used to write, but like, again, my vision, okay? So I record my dreams, and if there's like symbols and things, I'll be like, okay, well, I'll put down in the dream, this is what I think it is, this is what it means. And you'll see that as you write down your dreams, as you write down your clear senses or these visions or informations that you get through a spiritual level, right? You'll be able to kind of understand it a lot better. Dreams can also help you train your other senses because you can become lucid in your dreams and you can also receive messages through there. It can build up your senses and you can kind of be able to be like, okay, well, when I'm awake, I can actually sense this a little bit more on this side of my clear senses than over here. It can really help you strengthen your gifts, is what I'm trying to say. It also helps you keep in track of revisions because sometimes you'll have like a part two of a vision that you had months ago. And I'm sure some of you guys can relate to that. Yeah, it helps you keep those in track as well. All right, we're proceeding on, guys. Thank y'all so much for your love and patience. Our psychic abilities originate, like our dreams, within the subconscious mind, and the language of the subconsciousness tends to be in symbols, whether that symbol is a color, shape, image, or metaphor. And like, okay, I thought someone was messaging me. All right, groovies, we're going to be reading on. Whether that symbol is a color, shape, image, or metaphor. And like our dreams, to which often present to us an allegory, the metaphor may, many times, the clairvoyant message will need to be analyzed and interpreted to uncover the information it presents. For example, when reading for a person who is consulting you with your regarding consulting you with consulting with you regarding their relationships. Dies Kari. Um, if you receive a vision of them sitting in a small, cramped room, you may interpret that vision as they're feeling trapped or confined in the relationship. If you receive a flash of yellow as you're considered their question about relationship, you may interpret that flash of color as an indicator or a shared intellectual and mental process between the two parties. Or perhaps someone wants to know about how their business ventures will go, or how they feared during their convected convected dear Carice, convected job interview. You may receive a psychic image of a champagne. Okay, I'm going to say that's champagne bottle. Champagne bottle and confetti signifies signifying success, celebration, and reward. You may receive an image of an automobile driving at high speed up a road and coming into an abrupt stop as an official struts forward with some kind of form that requires a signature. This type of imagery would indicate and a quick okay, this madness. In today. Oh Jesus. Sorry guys, hold on. I am learning how to work with this thing because my holder for my phone broke from my stuff, and we are making do with what we got, man. We're finessing it. All right, let us proceed. This type of imagery would indicate a quick and seemingly effortless beginning for the project or job, but that's not all of the details have actually been attended to and taken care of. Likely, success and reward can result if all the small details are accounted for, but there still needs to be attention given to making sure the situation. Oh, that's nice. Hold on, sis. Hold on. Let me finish this chapter, and then we'll proceed on chapter 4, guys. Donde? Where are you? Ah, there you are. Accounted for, but there still needs to be attention given in making sure the situation is completely worked out. When using your psychic senses to respond to a specific circumstance or question of concern to you or the person you are reading, it is easy to place and understand the images, and psychic feelings you are accessing because you have a framework or focus to concentrate on. But there will also be times when you will experience a spontaneous clairvoyant vision. When you receive a clairvoyant vision out of the blue, that is true. I will say this, man. Okay, I know that I stop and pause. I do. But like, I get this from time to time, but it's mainly by feelings and sometimes by sight. But yeah, it may just kind of warn you a little too soon, but it's okay if it happens to you guys. All right. Something specific to you. It will not always mean something specific to you. Usually, a clear and meaningful vision will occur at a time when you are deliberately seeking psychic information. But there are those instances when the energy residue surrounding a person, place, or thing is so strong that you receive the psychic information without seeking it deliberately. If you receive an unexpected clairvoyant image that has a strong emotional charge to it, but you are unable to interpret it immediately, try first relaxing and simply opening up your other psychic senses to troll or look for additional information. If after a few minutes the meaning of the vision is still unclear, feel it gently in the back of your mind and go on with your day. You will very likely receive additional information via dream or in sudden aha moments as you move throughout your day if it truly has significance for you. Sometimes the term clairvoyance is used interchangeably, so it can switch its meaning at times. Okay? Can flip the script. As a descriptive word for the other types of psychic senses that we have, we can access psychic information in many ways and not just through clairvoyant vision. We can also use the subtle energy senses associated with our physical senses in our psychic information gathering. All right, bodacious people, we are now going to be talking about clairaudience. All right, we talked about clairvoyance, clear sight. Clairaudience, I believe, is clear speech or clear hearing. So let's go, right? Hold on just a quick second, guys. All right. Clairaudience is clear hearing when the psychic receives information that comes to them with the perception of having been spoken to them as a single word. So, okay, clear hearing. A sentence, a message, or as a teaching. This psychic hearing sensation can feel as if it is inside your head or outside your ears. That is true. And it can seem to you as if it is being spoken aloud, although no one but you can hear it. Oftentimes, clairaudience is associated with having a guide or a disembodied spiritual teacher or mentor who gives you guidance and advice. You may receive a single important word, a sentence, a song, or a simple sound. Often, when all you get is a sound, it is a nudge to pay particular attention to what is around you and the feelings you may have at that particular moment in time. It can be a signal that your guide is about to interact with you, or that you are about to encounter a person or experience that will have a particular meaning or significance for you. You may sometimes find that you dominant ear for clairaudience. So dominant ear means that some people can hear it from both sides, okay? Some of you guys may only hear it from the left or the right. Now, depending on the side, some people believe that if it's left, it's a warning, and right is like you know something that's good that's going to happen. So depending on what you're hearing from whichever side, it can mean something positive or negative. Again, we're going to get into more of that while we read this, okay? All right. You may sometimes find that you have a dominant ear for clairaudience, and that when you receive psychic information, it seems to come always to your right ear or left ear. Sometimes clairaudients report that their dominant ear is on the same side of their body as their dominant hand. I have a technique that I find very helpful when I'm using clairaudience to get the answer to a question. Typically, what I will do is think briefly about something, so think quickly about something. I would like to know as I get into my car to drive somewhere, I don't spend time meditating on the question, nor do I concentrate and ask myself the question over and over. I simply say the question aloud or think it to myself as I sit down and put my keys into the car ignition. Then I drive to my destination. Sometimes during the drive, I will get an almost immediate answer. At other times, the answer may not come for a day or two. But when I'm driving again or engaged in another habitual task that does not require me to focus on things in a totally linear fashion, past, present, or future, right? Linear. I will clairaudiently hear the answer, and the answers have all been right so far. So that's something you guys can do too, is that you can ask yourself that question in your mind or out loud, and then do your own thing, and then it will come to you when it's ready. We are going to be talking about clairsentient. Remember, we have clairvoyancy, clear seeing, clairaudience, clear hearing. Now clairsentient, clear feeling. You're going to be annoyed with me on this, but just letting you guys declare senses. Another way that you can access psychic information is through a process called clairsentience. The word clairsentient means clear feeling. One of the ways that clairsentience is used and experienced is by touching or holding an object. As you open your subtle feeling, somebody's trying to touch my face, man. I don't like that. Anyways, senses, to physically feel and interpret the energies attached to that object. This interpretation of the vibratory energies of objects is often referred to as psychometry. Bear with me, guys. I apologize if I mispronounce. Psychometry. I think it's psychometry. You can also experience clairsentience within your own body as you perform a psychic reading. You have heard the term gut feeling. This term is used to indicate an intuitive hunch about someone or something. But when using your clairsentient talents, this feeling can often be can be a literal one. You may experience the feeling of dread in your stomach. Your stomach literally feels heavy and constricted. That's true. As you handle an object or read for an individual, you may experience an excited feeling, like butterflies in your stomach. As you physically read something or someone, you may experience the hair on your arms literally rising, and sudden flash of cold or heat, or a pricking sensation in your aura. And flash and cold heat, a pricking sense in your aura or a area of your body. All the sensations can be clairsentient signals of psychic impression that you are receiving. When this happens, also take notes of any emotional responses you are having while the clairsentient sensation is occurring. Your emotional response will give you additional information and clues to help you interpret the meaning of what you're receiving. Like I said before about this, do not absorb people's energy. If you are empath and you also have clairsentience, people can be very overwhelming with their presence, whether they know it or not. For example, because I really think it's important for you guys to know. Okay, and I promise we're going to get back to this. There are people who are so negative and so ugly and so egotistical and arrogant and rude and mean that even though they don't really know it, when they're around, you just feel physically sick. Your body feels nervous for no reason. It is because you are feeling and sensing this person's energy. Make sure that you find protective ways to take in the information without it hurting you, because certain people are not meant to be around you guys. Okay? They can be really smiling and happy. They can try to pretend that they're the perfect person, but I'm talking about toxic, abusive, narcissistic, arrogant, rude, ignorant people, whether it be by a guy, a lady, or a person. Do your readings if you need to. If you have this clear scent, it's okay. But work on every time you're done feeling what you need to feel, but don't take it all in. Find it where you can be able to sense it and it doesn't overpower you. Because when you're new to this type of ability, it can feel very overpowering. Okay, there are times where I'm happy for no reason, and then I find out a few minutes or like later on the day or two, something really good is going to happen. I can go somewhere and I can feel overwhelmingly sad, and I'll find out that it's something with somebody that I care about. They're sad about something, and they just got that news the same time that I felt it. Okay. You don't have to be around certain people to sense things, but sometimes people's energies, a lot of times, I'm being cute when I say sometimes, a lot of times, their energy, their emotions, their vibe can be super hectic and incredibly unhealthy. Okay, I'm not saying be afraid of your ability. I'm just saying make sure that when you're done with your readings, make sure when you're done with your day to days, ground yourself, cleanse your energy, pray to your higher power, to your gods and goddesses, divine entities, universe, or whatever. You can be a Christian and still be a psychic, okay? Religion can tie into it. But make sure that you absorb what is meant for you, not taking in everybody's thing, okay? Think about Charms when Prue got to be an empath, right? Not the same, but she could sense and feel everything. Then Phoebe somehow got her ability to do that, and it can be a lot. Don't try to absorb everybody's everything and not cleanse yourself every time you do. Because I'm telling you, narcissistic people, egotistical people, sociopaths, toxic, abusive, very foul people will go over there and be like, I love your energy. I like your vibe. And they're really just sucking you dry and making you sick. It is a blessing and it is a curse to be psychic because of the things that you can sense and feel and take on and see. Make sure that you take time to cleanse yourself. Feel only the positive and rejuvenating, healing kind of energy and not take everybody's problem without letting it go at the end of the day. Okay? Because if you don't cleanse yourself and make sure you're not taking all that in and keeping it, not everything is meant to be absorbed. That's all I have to say. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I'm giving you guys advice from somebody who can really absorb other people without meaning to. Okay, and I can sense a lot, and it can be overwhelming at times, and it can make me really sick, like physically, emotionally sick. Save yourselves. Don't try to be taking in everybody's BS. Okay? It's always those people that go over there with their low vibrational bullcrap. Ah, if you're low vibrational, do better and vibe high. I can't help anybody who refuses to not help themselves. I know that kind of sounds mean, but like some people will just want you to be around because you make them feel better, but they don't have to do any work. Those are called peasant energy. They're energy vampires that will suck you dry. Cleanse yourself every time, guys. I'm not lying. Can't stress that enough. All right. Relax and open your senses while you handle the jewelry or picture. Hold on. Ah, sorry, guys. Here are a couple of ways you can play and experiment with your clairsentient abilities. First, have a friend lend you a piece of jewelry or a picture that they have information about, but that you don't. So it has to be something that you don't know what it is, but your friend or loved one can give it to you, right? You can read the feeling and the vibe of that, basically. Relax and open your senses while you handle the jewelry or picture and let it begin telling you about the person or people who own or owned it. Relate the impression you are getting to your friend and get their feedback. You also could try going to an antique store or a garage sale, pick up an object and feel that energy still residing within it. Ask the antique dealer or garage sale family after you have gotten your psychic impression about the object and its origins for confirmation about the information you have received. I like antique stores, if I'm being honest with y'all. They have the best books. All right, guys, now we're going to talk about claircogniz. Claircogn. I'm going to butcher this one. Claircogniscience. Claircogniscience. Claircogniscience is another way of obtaining psychic information. And the term means clear knowing. All right. So if you're one of those beautiful, bodacious people that are like, I just kind of knew, right? I had a feeling or whatever, then yeah, I just saw it before me. When you experience claircogniscience, you suddenly know certain things about being told about the situation or the person. This information can be provided to you by your higher self. That part of you which is intimately connected with your subconscious mind and the divine, or by your spirit guides as they provide you with information in the form of thought into your mind and awareness. This knowing can be in the form of we're going to try to do this without bookmark. Alrighty. This knowing can be in the form of a simple word or sentence, or it can be an entire body of information that you receive into your consciousness. You may receive a sudden inspiration or idea that is new to you, or you may experience a small insight about someone or a circumstance. When you experience claircogniscience, it will be characterized by a very strong sense of correctness about the information you are receiving. Sometimes this knowing will be accompanied by a clairvoyant vision, but more often it comes as a sudden flash of clear knowledge, which just feels right. Claircognizant experiences come with a feeling of rightness and certainty. When you receive psychic information in this way, you do not have any doubt of the veracity of the information. In addition to receiving knowledge about something or someone in your mind, you may also experience claircognizance when you engage in the psychic activity of atomic
automatic writing. In the process of automatic writing, you place yourself in an alpha brainwave meditative state with the intention of receiving psychic information. Using pen and paper or a computer word processing program, you open your psychic senses and allow yourself to channel or bring through information not previously known to you while in a light trance. God, my shoulder's killing me, man. Okay. You may wonder if the experience of claircognizance comes in the form of thoughts or words. How can you tell if what you are getting is a psychic bit? Blah. Jesus, guys. You may wonder if the experience of claircognizance comes in the form of thoughts or words. How can you tell if what you are getting is a psychic hit or if it is really just your own thoughts? The claircognizant knowing comes to you without your own thinking process. The thought or information is suddenly just there. You may not engage your conscious mind in obtaining the information, and it has not been generated by your thought process. When spontaneous claircognizance occurs, you may have typically been using your conscious mind to think about something entirely different. The knowing you receive has nothing to do with what you were occupying your mind with the moment before. You can begin to develop your skills at claircognizant knowing by engaging in meditation practice. As you relax into your meditation, focus your intention on opening up to the wisdom and knowledge within the universe. You may want to place your awareness particularly at the top of your head where your crown chakra is. At your crown chakra, I like to visualize a light at the top of my head glowing and shining brighter and brighter. Within this light, I imagine butterflies flittering, and each time one alights on my head. Okay, one lands on my head. I receive a bit of inspiration, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentient, and clair claircognizance are the four psychic senses that tend to be employed the most in intuitive work. But you also may experience clair olfaction. Okay. Yeah, we have to just move a little bit. Okay. Aha. Clair olfaction. Clair olfaction, the psychic sense of smell, or clairgustance, the psychic sense of taste. When working with a guide, for example, one of the signals you may receive before psychic contact can be a scent, rose, a forest glen, the smell of ozone. You may also experience psychic smell when working to contact someone who has passed. You may get a whiff of their favorite perfume or their pipe tobacco smoke. As you make contact, for example, the experience of clairgustance may occur under a similar circumstance. When you are making a spirit contact with someone, and suddenly taste some sort of food or drink that was particularly enjoyed by that individual during their life. We are going to be talking about the colors of clairvoyance, okay, guys? The colors of clairvoyance. Colors often accompany clairvoyant sight. When the color is clear and bright, its most positive aspects are being indicated. Murky or extremely pale shades of color tend to show a presence that color energy vibrates, but those vibrations are weak or being used in an unbalanced fashion. It can also come as static. Just it can come as like staticky and really fuzzy and unclear too. It could also feel ugly. The basic meaning of color vibration follows. So we're going to talk again about the colors. We are talking about the color red now, guys. Red. Red is the color of physical life and vitality, energy, sensational, sensational experiences, and materialism, the physical things, materialistic things. It is the slowest rate of vibration in which an anima form can exist in the physical world. Red's positive aspects are energizing, vitalizing, and heating. Red indicates the instinctual animal nature. A clear, vibrant red will indicate physical vitality, so physical energy. An energy, a pulsing red, can indicate a blockage and irritation in the aura. In the area where you're sensing the color. The negative aspects of red are destruction, discordance, and shattering the physical form. The, the dense the densest the densest of the colors, red, creates the most friction, which can attract or repel, depending on the clarity or tint of the red in the aura. This color can indicate worries or obsession, anger or brooding, anxiety, irritation, or nervousness. All right. Fear not, guys. I will try to take pictures of this as well so y'all can also have the information at hand. So we're going to talk about orange, okay? Orange. Orange is the visualizing color of the sun. This color is used by every living thing and held by animals from the atmosphere through the lungs or gills. Plant life uses photosynthesis. It takes in and absorbs the healthy color of orange. Orange combines physical energy with mental activity, unifying body and mind. Orange is creative, pers- perspective. Hold on, preservative. We all have our struggles, and apparently my struggle is reading. Can read cards, but God help me reading books, right? Jesus, the funniness in that. All right. Active. So active, regenerating forces between matter and the highest facilities. Its positive aspects indicate thoughtfulness and consideration, while the negative aspects indicate laziness and repression. So we're not just feeling anything, we're just pressing it in, avoiding our problems. Now we're going to go into yellow, okay, guys? Yellow. Yellow governs the intellectual side of life, the smarts, showing powers of reasoning, analyzes, logic, and judgment. The true primary yellow is the highest color vibration on the planet, but it's not visible to physical sight. It indicates the spiritualized, creative, illuminated, intellectual, all right, this madness, illuminated intellect. All right, I said it right, intellect. Positive aspects of yellow show mental alertness and intellectual, so brain, intellectual power, brain power. Negative aspects indicate timidity and weakness of will. So shying away, not having confidence to go after things, and not having a lot of energy to do stuff either. All right, guys, next color is green. Green. Green is the color of growth, balance, and abundance. It shows the beginning of individual growth and development of ego and its sense of self. Green has strong healing vibrations and is the ray of finance and material wealth. It is the color of the lower objective mind. It is the most difficult color for the clairvoyant to see and the last one to be seen clearly as clairvoyance develops. Green indicates a connection to and love for people, animals, and nature. It is the color of the teacher and healer. It's also the color of your heart chakra. The yellow is the color of your solar plex. The orange is for your sacral, and red is for your root. So this is also tying into your chakras, guys, which can help you with your auras and your energy field and stuff. We'll get into that in a moment. Blue. Blue is the color of spiritual power, higher mental faculties, and the subjective mind. It is inspirational, devotional, spiritually soothing, cooling, and harmonizing. Positive aspects of blue are spiritual connection, artistry, selflessness, and high morality. Negative tones of blue indicate struggle and melancholy. So for those of you guys that don't know what melancholy is, it is a form of sadness. It's kind of like, I'm going to use an example off of Lore Olympus, okay? If you guys like do webtoons and you read Lore Olympus and it's about, Persephone and Hades and the Greek mythologies and the gods and goddesses and divine entities of that, right? Persephone felt melancholy because, of losing her friends and her powers growing and just kind of going through that but not really expressing it. And so it kind of leaves her sad and a little bit with despair and lostness and grieving. It's a sad emotion, but it's more than just being sad. It also ties into grief, mourning, and stuff of that nature. It's kind of then between you're here, but you're not really here. Hopefully I don't butcher that, but it's the best way I can explain it. All right, negative aspects. The luminescent, deeper tone of blue have great power, indicating that the individual has found their life's path and is dedicated to service. It is the color of the sensitive, intuitive person. It is also the color, guys, of your throat chakra. Indigo, this is the color of your third eye. Indigo is the combination of blue with a small amount of clear red, which intensifies its power. It combines the deep blue of devotion with clear logical thought and action. Indigo indicates universality. All right. Indicates universality and a high degree of spirituality, which unites spirit with matter. The positive aspects of indigo show intensity of purpose and the seeking of spiritual fulfillment and truth.
Now we're going to talk about the color violet. This is also the color of your crown chakra. Violet is the bluish purple and is a pure blue with additional higher vibrations of pink within it. Violet indicates a lofty spiritual consciousness and great spiritual power. People with indigo in their energy field can raise their vibratory rates to that of violet if they work to keep themselves grounded and use their psychic abilities in a balanced, helpful way. This is the color. This is a color indicating spiritual awareness and intuition. Being psychically sensitive to color in the aura via clairvoyance is a helpful gateway to quick psychic analysis information. But you may be one of those people who doesn't physically see colors, but instead read the energies presented in the aura through another of your psychic senses. You may experience the energy present in the aura thought through the medium of clairaudience by physically hearing information about the energy. Perhaps you obtain the information via clairsentient, meaning you experience the energy flavor of an individual place or thing as a feeling within your own body and use your senses to interpret that feeling. Or you might use your claircognizant abilities and instantaneously know the answer to the question being asked. Although many people tend to see colors clairvoyantly and go on to interpret its meaning from that psychic sight, not everyone receives their psychic impressions in that specific manner. So don't discount the psychic information you receive if it comes to you via a different psychic experience. So, in other words, don't feel bad if you get your psychic information different from other psychics or mediums. It's okay. Remember, your gift is individual to you. We may have the same abilities, but your abilities are a little different from mine, and mine's are a little bit different from you, and that's okay. You still have your gifts, and it's beautiful. We don't all have to be the same. How boring would that be? Every psychic, every medium, everybody, every spiritual person would just be exactly the same. Oh my gods and goddesses. That would be so tragic. That's all I have to say. Like, no individuality, no, like, your own personal pizzazz. I couldn't live in a world like that. Y'all got me messed up. Anyways, we're almost there, guys, and then we'll be continuing chapter 4 in the next live. All right. Psychic experience. The colors seen and interpreted by the use of clairvoyance is it's only one way of assessing the energy flavor. Play to your strengths and use your most natural talent as you develop your psychic senses. That being said, thank you guys so much for being patient and loving with my reading, even though I mispronounced quite a few words. And as always, slay the day, be happy, and be gay. I love you guys so much. And thank y'all. If you like what I do and you admire the readings and everything, please follow and subscribe. We have lots of videos covering different types of things. All right, peace out. Bye. Oop.